Hello friends, my name is Pratik and welcome back to my channel. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to do a small camera comparison between Pixel 3 and iPhone SE. Now, if you are following my channel, you might already know that I've been using Pixel 3 for a couple of months now and iPhone SE I've been using from the start of this channel. So the main reason for comparing this device in camera comparison is both these devices come with single camera setup at the back. So that I will explain later. So if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and without wasting any time, let's start the video. So before starting the camera comparison, just wanted to guide you with the setup. As you might already know, iPhone SE has single camera setup as well as Pixel 3 has single camera setup. Now both these devices have 12 megapixel camera at the back. Now talking about the front, Pixel 3 has dual camera setup at the front, which is 8 megapixel normal camera and 8 megapixel ultra wide. Talking about iPhone SE, it has 7 megapixel selfie shooter. So yeah, that's it for the basic specification. Now both these devices click actually very good pictures, no doubt in that. So let's start with the camera comparison. So now as you can see on the screen right now, the very first image is just a normal image from the main camera. Now I click this picture for the dynamic range. Now as you can see in the picture, both the devices give you proper pictures, detailings are there. And if I talk about dynamic range, then as you can notice, the clouds in the sky are definitely visible in both these devices. Usually in normal devices, what happens is the sky is completely blown out, it is white, or the clouds are not at all visible. But the clouds are visible in this picture, and also the wires which are hanging over the building are quite visible. So both these devices works well in terms of managing the dynamic range. So yeah, details are there and dynamic range is good. Now the second picture, as you can see on the screen right now, is from the main camera only, but we click this picture from opposite the sunlight or in front of the sunlight. So as you can see, the subject, which is me, is not that visible, but the dynamic range in both these devices, it has tried to manage the dynamic range. Clouds are visible. As you can see in iPhone SE, saturation level is bit on the higher side, and even it has tried to keep me in focus and in well lighting conditions. Whereas the Pixel 3, as you can see, subject is dark, but the background is definitely very clear, and it is not that saturated. It is definitely balanced image. So it's your choice which you want to go with. Now talking about the next picture is for the color reproduction. I just wanted to check how the colors are visible in both the devices. Now as you can see in iPhone SE, the color is definitely more on the saturated side when compared to Pixel 3. Now Pixel 3 image are much more cooler as compared to iPhone SE throughout the comparison, so you might notice that change, but definitely color pops out in iPhone SE over here. But if I talk about details, then Pixel 3 definitely gives you more details if you zoom in the image. And yeah, if you want to go with saturated colors, then iPhone SE is good, but if you want more details, then Pixel 3 is doing a great job over here. Now talking about the next picture is for the same color reproduction. There's another picture of a small plant over there. Now as you can see in iPhone SE, the green color is definitely saturated, it is highlighted, it will give you an effect of that HDR effect. In Pixel 3, it has tried to keep the color as natural as possible, and even in the background, as you can see, behind the plant is the parking lot, and details are there. It is not completely dark or something. Definitely both the devices are working good in these lighting conditions. Now talking about the next image, it is from the same main camera. Now this is taken in very proper lighting condition. Now you can see you will get that warm effect in iPhone SE, whereas in Pixel 3 you will get that a cooler effect when compared to each other. But both the devices are doing a great job over here. Detailings are there, and definitely colors, you can see in iPhone SE, the red color or the color which is on my t-shirt is much more bright than compared to Pixel 3. But in terms of details and all, both the devices are doing great job. So no doubt about main camera performs very well in proper lighting conditions. So now talking about the next image is the portrait image. Now if you click picture in portrait mode from iPhone SE and Pixel 3, I just want to give you an opinion or just a highlight before explaining this feature. In portrait mode, iPhone SE only gives you proper portrait mode if there is a human subject in the picture. Whereas Pixel 3 doesn't matter, it is an object or human subject, it will give you that blurry background. So as you can see in the next image right now, this is taken from the portrait mode of both these devices. iPhone SE will give you that warm effect as you can see in the picture, and Pixel 3 will give you that cool effect. But in terms of background blur, iPhone SE is not performing very well because, as I said, it will capture only human subject for blurry background, and rest, yeah, it doesn't do blurry background at all. So as you can see, I'm holding a cup of tea and background is blurred in Pixel 3, but in iPhone SE background is pretty much visible. So now talking about the next portrait mode, I am just holding a case of TWS earphone, and as you can see, same thing in both these images. iPhone SE doesn't do blurry background or background is not blurred. It is in well focused area, and in Pixel 3 you can see background is properly blurred, and edge detection is also good in terms of if you are holding an object or human subject. Both the devices will give you proper edge detection. Now talking about the third image, I'm holding a pen, and same thing in this one. As you can see, background is not blurred in iPhone SE, whereas in Pixel 3 background is definitely blurred, and you will get that saturated effect or HDR image in iPhone SE, whereas Pixel 3, you have, if you want that HDR effect, then you have to turn that HDR mode. So that's it for the portrait mode. For the object, now talking about the human subject, if you are clicking pictures with a human in the frame, then you can notice the difference over here. Now in iPhone SE, as you can see, background is properly blurred. In Pixel 3, no doubt, background is already blurred in portrait mode. Now there is one thing which I want to highlight is that iPhone SE will give you that reddish skin tone if you're clicking pictures, and it is normal with each and every iPhone, but that actually looks good. Whereas in Pixel 3 you get a normal skin tone and that smooth effect in both the devices. Now if I want to compare this particular image in terms of background blur, then I would definitely go with iPhone SE because it is giving that proper blur effect when compared to Pixel 3 when human subject is in the frame. Pixel 3 is not bad, definitely it is good, but in terms of background blur, definitely I would go with iPhone SE in this particular picture. Now there is another picture with human subject, which is me, and yeah, in portrait mode definitely you has that great edge detection in both the devices and background is properly blurred. Now let's talk about the performance of main camera in low light. Now as you can see, both the devices performs very well in low lighting condition as well. Now the picture which I have clicked is in a room which is completely dark. There was only a small light coming from the window. Rest all the room was very dark. Still, both the cameras have managed to click a good picture. Now iPhone SE doesn't have night mode and Pixel 3 has night side mode, but night side mode was off during this particular picture. It's just a low light picture from the main camera, so nothing has been done. So it's just a normal picture. As you can see, both the devices have managed very well, and it was a complete dark room and still it is giving a proper picture. So you can use it for your Instagram as well if you're doing low light photography. So next picture is just a close-up, and the same thing, iPhone SE will give you good effect, Pixel 3 as well as same with Pixel 3. Pixel 3 will also give you good low light image performance for sure. Definitely if you zoom in, there might be a little bit noise in the picture, but overall the picture is very clear. Detailings are not that much, but the skin is smooth, and definitely you will get that smooth effect throughout the picture if you're clicking pictures in low light. Now talking about another image, as you can see, it was in complete dark. I just did this for color comparison in low light. So as you can see, I'm holding a blue color band, and Pixel 3 image is a bit darker in this one. I don't know why, but iPhone SE is still that image. I can use it if I want to, but the picture quality is good in low light performance, that's for sure. Now talking about the main thing, which is the night side mode in Pixel 3. So it's from the main camera because it has only one single camera. So as you can see in the next picture, the night side mode in Pixel 3 is on, whereas iPhone SE is just clicking picture with normal camera because it doesn't have night side mode or night mode. But while clicking the pictures, in this particular night side mode, I've just raised the exposure level a bit so that I can get a bit of clear image. But as you can see, increasing the exposure level results in much more noise in the image in iPhone SE, whereas Pixel 3 is clicking very good pictures in night side mode. What happens in Pixel 3 is after clicking the picture in night side mode, it processes the image in post production or in post process. It just removes the noise and it tries to make the picture very clear, and detailings are not that much, but definitely picture is clear in detail when compared to iPhone SE. So night side mode actually is the one feature which I loved in Pixel 3 very much. Now talking about the next image, as you can see, just a normal image. iPhone SE gives you a bright image if you increase the exposure level, but definitely you can notice there is much more noise in the image when compared to Pixel 3. Now Pixel 3 is performing very well in while the night side mode is on, and you won't find noise in the picture, but that's a good thing. If you want to use Pixel 3 for night mode and all, you can use it. Now in the next image, again the room was dark, and in this image you can see at the bottom there is a window and small line is there from where the light is coming. So that was that I was talking about. So yeah, Pixel 3 image is definitely good over here when compared to iPhone SE. So night side mode, if anyone wants or if anyone is willing to buy Pixel 3, I'll definitely recommend you to use night side mode for low lighting photography. So yeah, let's talk about the selfie camera now. Done with the main camera, let's move on to the selfie. Now selfie in both the devices are good. Now in this particular image, you can see iPhone SE gives you a bright image, whereas Pixel 3 gives you a normal image, but skin tone in both the devices are good, and as you can see detailings are there, no doubt about that. So it's your choice if you want to go with iPhone SE or if you want to go with Pixel 3. Camera in both the devices are performing well. Talking about the next image, the next selfie image is in portrait mode. Now both the devices perform very well in this particular image. Now you can see edge detection is also good. There might be a few hit and a miss in Pixel 3 in terms of edge detection, because it almost sometimes, if it's a tricky situation or a tricky background or something, as you can see in Pixel 3 image, my hairs are little bit blurred out over there, but overall image is definitely good and background blur is good in Pixel 3 in comparison to iPhone SE. So yeah, that's a good image. Now talking about the low light performance of selfie camera, as you can see in the image right now, iPhone SE image is completely dark. You can see the noise in the picture, whereas Pixel 3's selfie camera in night side mode definitely gives you that smooth effect, and it feels like you have clicked that picture in proper lighting condition, but the room was completely dark, as I told you earlier. So yeah, night side mode works in selfie camera as well in Pixel 3. So yeah, Pixel 3 is definitely a good choice over here. The next image is the same image, and as you can notice the difference, iPhone SE image is dark in selfie in low light, and Pixel 3 in night side mode definitely give you good image quality. Now this was about the picture quality. In terms of main camera and selfie camera, both the devices performs very well, and definitely in low light I would definitely prefer Pixel 3 over here because of night side mode. So yeah, now talking about the video quality of both the devices, iPhone SE has OIS in 4K and Pixel 3 has gyro EIS in 4K. You do get OIS support in Pixel 3, but that is during the pictures. But if you are shooting in 4K, if you are shooting video in 4K, then you will get EIS in Pixel 3, whereas in 4K in iPhone you get OIS throughout the video. So talking about the video comparison, I did a walking test from both these devices. Now you can see I'm walking in the frame, I'm walking in the video, and both these devices are giving me great stable footage. There is no lag, and the shot is completely handheld, no gimbal was used over here. So I think it's your choice. If you love iPhone SE footage, then you can go with it because it is stable, as well as Pixel 3's footage is also very stable. Now I did another walking test. As you can see in the frame right now, there is a car, and just a normal walking test, and both these devices are performing very well in terms of stabilization. So definitely if you are looking for great stabilization in your camera in 4K resolution with a handheld shot, you can rely on both these devices for sure. Now talking about the next thing, which is the shooting from selfie camera. As you can see in the first video, it's just a normal walking with the selfie, and I'm just doing a normal walking test in the room. And yeah, in terms of field of view, iPhone SE is giving me much more wide field of view when compared to Pixel 3, because I was just shooting with the normal lens over there. Now when I switched it to ultra wide, I'm talking about the Pixel 3, when I switched to ultra wide, I did another shoot, and as you can see in ultra wide, definitely Pixel 3 gives you that wide field of view. Now the one thing which I noticed in the normal mode in with the normal camera in Pixel 3 with the selfie camera is that the lights in the background are blown out, whereas the lights in the background from SE is not blown out. It is trying to manage and it is trying to keep the subject in focus. So that's the only one thing which I don't like about Pixel 3 from the main selfie camera. Now talking about the ultra wide selfie camera in Pixel 3, as you can notice, now it is trying to manage the exposure level, or it is trying to manage the light which is coming from background. It is not blowing it out completely, but definitely it is trying to manage in ultra wide. So you do get that wide field of view, and if you are a vlogger or if you love vlogging with your phone, then definitely you can look at Pixel 3 because of that wide field of view. Now talking about the resolution, both the devices can shoot in 4K, but the only thing to look out is that Pixel 3 has 4K resolution at 30 fps, it is max, and in iPhone you can shoot in 4K resolution up to 60 fps. So if you are looking for that slow motion and all, then you can definitely go with iPhone SE over here, because it is giving you additional 30 frames, which is 60 frames per second in 4K. So giving my final opinion about today's camera comparison, both devices click very good picture, no doubt about that. But in terms of low light performance, I would definitely go with Pixel 3, because if I'm buying Pixel 3 in 2022 just for camera, just for the camera, and I'm just paying 11 or 12,000 because new phone is not available. You can find it refurbished on Flipkart if it is available or if it is in stock. But comparing a 11 or 12,000 phone with a 25 or 30,000 phone in my hand, I would definitely go with Pixel 3 here, because low light performance is good. 4K resolution performs very well. You do get EIS support, and there is no doubt about stabilization. Picture quality is definitely good in selfie as well as in main camera. I'm not saying that iPhone SE is bad. iPhone SE is definitely a good phone for camera. Yeah, it is good. It's just because of pricing. If my price is limited to 11 or 12,000, then definitely I don't have any choice other than Pixel 3. So in my opinion, in today's video, I'm going to go with Pixel 3 just because of that price range. Otherwise, both these devices click pictures and videos very good. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. If you like this video, if you find this comparison good enough or informative, you can hit that like button, and also a sub to the channel will be great. If you have any question, you can mention that question in comment section below, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.